I am going. Only one person, bro. Back up. Back up. Back up. You gotta back up. Back up. Back. Hold on, bud. I'm gonna go get your lead. Just hold on. Hold on, I'm moving some turds. Orly, right here. Orly, come. Here. Right here. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Right here. You hang out right here. Orly is outside the door. Put the gloves somewhere that they're not supposed to be. No, you can't go inside the bus. We're doing work outside. Where's the wheelbarrow at? You know where the shovel is? I'm gonna do this one time. Wish I had that thing that automatically turned, you guys. That'd be so nice. Are you stuck around that damn propane tank? Are you serious right now? You found the one thing that you could get. How did you even do that? How the fuck did you even do that? I'm just impressed. No, I'm just impressed. Okay, maybe I'll do it. It's not that bad. It's not that inconvenient to move it back and forth. Welcome to behind the scenes, every content creator's video you've ever seen. What are you doing? Are you serious right now? Get out of there. Go. Get out of there. Go. 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 Go home. No, go home. Go home. No, go that way. Go. Keep going. Dude, go. Go. Go that way. Go. Go that way. You're gonna get sick eating that fucking soap. Jesus Christ. You're gonna get sick. Stop it. Stay away from that sink. Dude, you cannot eat that stuff. There is soap in there. That's the residue from the sink. Go sit down and be a good boy. God, I can't believe he was just doing that. I'm tired already. I'm tired. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. Go outside for a minute? Tired. Come on, let's go inside. Come on. Come on. Orly. Come on. Come on. You want to sit there? Okay. Whatever. It'll take a couple minutes. Fuck. Poop on my shoe. That's where Adam lives. That's Adam's house. Where's my waters? I gotta find the rake. Gotta find the rake so I can rake that stuff around a little bit. I literally said, come on. Man. Hello. The thing that sucks about YouTube is that I can't listen to any books. I can't listen to any music. I have to just trudge along. So I hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to switch over to Bigo so that way I can listen to something while I work. I could listen to maybe a podcast that's like, let me see if That Surprise Witness has anything new out. Guess not. It's so funny how they bark at Orly whenever they're separated by the gate or something. They will bark at him, but the minute that they're like face to face, he doesn't bark like that at him. Come on, Popo. Dadle. Orly, come inside, dude. Here we go.
His allegations about Jay-Z are scandalous, and they're warranting striking them from the complaint. So this lawyer is just on a tear. Containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his clients. You're not benefiting your client. Put it in writing.
Orly, don't pee on them.
What you're doing, because you're making Jay-Z's case go.
Come on, Orly.
Jay-Z and his defense team got blasted by the judge.
Come on, Orly.
In the
Come on, leave those dogs
Sean
alone.
Combs case. You see, this is the case involving Jane
He's like, but I just want to be friends,
Sean
Mom.
Diddy Combs, and a bunch of other people. And Jay-Z is now on this
I just want to
list.
be friends,
What
Mom.
has happened is Jay-Z's defense team sent in this filing, which was very aggressive. You can see even right from the get-go, they say this is defendant Sean Carter's. His real name is Jay-Z.
Oh, sweaty. My head is itching. I use shampoo at my neighbor's.
Order to show cause. An order to show cause in the law is like being called into the principal's office. It's like you did something very bad.
It is making me crazy.
You to explain
but
yourself,
it's only because he's standing there. That's the only reason that it's happening, is because Orly is within eye line. They don't bark like that. They don't bark like that if they can't see him. They just bark like that if they... How much more, Adam?
What?
How much more?
I don't know, hang on. Put this dog shit on my fucking boots so I can put them on.
No. You stay. You stay. Ow, shit.
Sticky shit lately. Now it's in my face.
Delicious. So that was 4 loads. How much more? It's under there. Ugh. I'm gonna rake it around and like put it like.
Don't do any of that yet. First and foremost, what needs to go on is we need to probably need to clip these blackberries a little bit and rake them out of here, but all these rocks need to get pushed back to the line of the freaking post in the house.
Like make a line with them.
Yeah, because so basically, this whole pad needs to flatten out to the height that we are now.
Yeah.
Up to the freaking edge of the house and the post. In fact, we actually should probably go about a foot beyond because erosion, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so just make the rocks flat in some places and line it up to that pole.
Well, first, like I said, we gotta clip these blackberries out of here.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just gonna be fucking ourselves up on blackberries.
Well, where's my the clippies I was using that whole time?
I'm not sure what happened to my good clippers. I haven't seen them. 2 visits to Vegas ago.
Here, these will work.
Those will work, but I put gloves on.
I'm gonna put gloves on. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna put gloves on.
The handle is eroding on that thing, and it'll make y'all sticky and gross.
Yeah, I see that. All right.
Guys, knock it off.
For real, it's literally like they get anyone in their eye line today.
Well, phone, you might have a new home, buddy.
Said I'm so sick of love song.
This office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that.
He may be even more famous than his friend. As we close out
God
2024,
bless America.
His allegations about Jay-Z are scandalous, and they're warranting striking them from the complaint. Wow. So this lawyer is just on a tear. Containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his clients.
No,
You're
we're
not
making a dog
benefiting
kennel so
your
that the
client.
dogs-
Put it in
so that
writing.
me
Stop
being in the
doing what
shed
you're
is not
doing, because you're making
a
Jay-Z's
problem.
case go bad. Jay-Z and his
love-
defense team got blasted by the judge in the Diddy Sean Combs case. You see, this is the case involving Jane Doe versus Sean Diddy Combs and a bunch of other people. And Jay-Z is now on this list. Now, what has happened is Jay-Z's defense team sent in this filing, which was very aggressive. You can see even right from the get-go, they say this is defendant Sean Carter's. His real name is Jay-Z. Memorandum of law in support of his emergency motion for an order to show cause. An order to show cause in the law is like being called into the principal's office. It's like you did something very bad and the judge wants you to explain yourself or else you're in trouble. It's not even a warning, right? At one point, it's like, I'm going to send you to the principal's office if you don't
Recognize.
Are you
kidding me?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's
His allegations about Jay-Z are scandalous, and they're warranting striking them from the complaint. Wow. So this lawyer is just on a tear. Containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his clients. You're not benefiting your client. Put it in writing. Stop doing what you're doing, because you're making Jay-Z's case go bad. Jay-Z and his defense team got blasted by the judge in the Diddy Sean Combs case. You see, this is the case involving Jane Doe versus Sean Diddy Combs and a bunch of other people. And Jay-Z is now on this list. Now, what has happened is Jay-Z's defense team sent in this filing, which was very aggressive. You can see even right from the get-go, they say this is defendant Sean Carter's, his real name is Jay-Z, memorandum of law in support of his emergency motion for an order to show cause. An order to show cause in the law is like being called into the principal's office. It's like you did something very bad and the judge wants you to explain yourself or else you're in trouble. It's not even a warning, right? At one point, it's like, I'm going to send you to the principal's office if you don't abide. You're like, okay, you abide. Nope, you're straight to the principal's office and you're talking to the principal. And if you're in trouble, you could be like sanctioned, could be imprisoned, okay, if you're in real big trouble. So it's a big problem. Now, Jay-Z's team is saying this is appropriate right now. Call them into the principal's office and scold them. And they also want an order for the preservation of evidence. They're saying that this other attorney's deleting stuff, and they want to strike the complaint, and they want to dismiss Jay-Z from this action. It's like, man, they're asking for a lot here. And so the judge came and responded to this and says, you guys are out of your friggin' minds. So let's go through this and see what they said in their position into the courts. From Jay-Z's defense, they say, listen, we are now submitting this because this civil lawyer who is suing our client is committing major mistakes. They say admissions by the Jane Doe, who allegedly is a 13-year-old or was a 13-year-old person at the time of her abuse. They say that Jane's made her own damning admissions throughout the course of this case. And in fact, some of these admissions came from her own father in another NBC interview. So that shows this whole case was obviously false from the start. If her dad is saying she's a liar, she's a liar. They say the timeline, the location, the occurrence of the events that are alleged in Jane Doe's complaint against Jay-Z, they're impossible. If her dad is telling the truth, everything she claimed is false. She claims her father picked her up after the assault, and he ever taking that 5-hour trip, picked her up after the assault, he ever taken that 5-hour trip. She claims she spoke with musician Benji Madden that night, but he was not even in New York. She also claims, Jane Doe, that the assault took place at an after party hosted in a private residence, but photos show that Jay-Z was at an after party at another place in a nightclub. Now, impressed by NBC, Jane Doe says, I've made some mistakes. I may have made a mistake in identifying, says, quote, not all faces there are as clear, and that she was even, quote, guessing about some key details, including how long it took to reach the venue. Now, what is even more, says Jay-Z's defense team, is that Jane Doe admits she does not have a single corroborating witness over the last 24 years to confirm this at all. Now, her unsupported allegations continue to crumble under scrutiny, as the evidence and the lack thereof reveals glaring inconsistencies and impossibilities. For example, her account describes a jumbotron at the scene of the Video Music Awards, but according to the NYPD, there was never a jumbotron there. Hello? MTV applied for a permit to install one, but they got denied. She references a house that supposedly fits the description and the location of the assault, but that house doesn't exist either. And her allegations became even more dubious when considering the nightclub evidence. Photos from the night in question show Diddy and Miss Jennifer Lopez at both Lotus and Twirl, which are clubs in New York. NBC reported that photos separately show Jay-Z was at Lotus following the VMAs. Now, taken together, their inconsistencies, the timeline impossibilities, and the lack of corroborating evidence makes her allegations wholly unreliable. Now, not only do these extraordinary inconsistencies undermine her case, they highlight severe misconduct by her lawyer. Right now, this lawyer is going after their lawyer. The judge is not going to be happy about this. Anthony Busby. Now, unable to escape the foundational cracks in his case, Busby was forced to backpedal, refuting the very allegations that he signed his name to. In an attempt to deflect from his own failure, he foist blames on another law firm, claiming the case was vetted before he got it. And so concerned is Busby, this lawyer for Jane Doe, that he is now having his client sit for a polygraph. The takeaway is obvious, all right? Busby failed to undertake a reasonable inquiry into the facts before filing the complaint. And he has a duty to do that. You can't just file complaints willy-nilly. But that was just one step in this cavalcade decade of misconduct. Though he signed his name to the pleadings, he has declined to even seek admission to this court, trying to circumvent the court's authority. Now, though the photos show Lopez in a different outfit at the nightclub than what she wore to the VMAs, it's clear the photos were taken on the same evening because her jewelry and her accessories were unchanged. So, photo sleuthing there. Now, Busby and his rule breaking also extends beyond this action, says Jay-Z. He has a long history of abusing the courts and shirking his ethical responsibilities. Ooh, this is getting spicy. In a case in California, for instance, Busby was admonished by the judge for violating pretrial rules, and a federal court in Texas also rejected another fee agreement. Now, the inconsistencies in Jane Doe's case that was revealed in an NBC interview, coupled with her lawyer and his chronic inability to follow the rules, creates a substantial risk that Busby, the lawyer, will destroy evidence in this case, including evidence of his own misconduct. And so we need an order immediately mandating the preservation of all evidence relevant to this case to ensure that Jay-Z has a full opportunity to present his defense. Busby's not even admitted to this court, and so that's why we need an order, as saying that his allegations about Jay-Z are scandalous and they're warranting striking them from the complaint. Wow. So this lawyer is just on a tear. Now the judge is going to come back and hit him equally hard. Busby filed this lawsuit against Combs. The initial complaint alleged that Combs, along with another male celebrity, arred the plaintiff at an after party. They didn't name Mr. Carter at the time, and in fact they tried to extort Jay-Z an exorbitant sum in private mediation. They say, we're going to go false unless you pay me a bunch. Jay-Z refused. It was only after this attempt to pay him that they added Jay-Z as a defendant. They said, oh, now we know who you are. Now we know what your name is. So they alleged that on September 7th, Jane Doe went to an after party, apparently hosted by Mr. Combs, large white residence. At the after party, the plaintiff recognized many celebrities like Fred Durst, Benji Madden, and others. They then alleged that she was drugged and assaulted by Combs. They also say that she was previously assaulted by an unnamed person. Obviously, that's turned out to be Jay-Z. 5 days after Busby filed the complaint containing these allegations, NBC News published a story containing excerpts of interviews that its reporters held with this woman and her father that literally undermines the merits of the lawsuit. We've gone through those and the inconsistencies that they've identified. Now, Busby effectively admitted to NBC that they have failed to do their job, and this guy's got a bunch of other misconduct in other lawsuits that he's just going to shove in front of the court. Your Honor, this guy's a piece of work, and so you should order him to show cause and drag his butt in here and make sure that he doesn't delete any evidence whatsoever. Saying the NBC story makes it extremely likely that he's not even vetting claims, and he's going to hide his failures to do his job under the rules. Busby's utter disregard for the rules shows that he's got inadequate procedures in his office and just continues to blast him. So Alex Spiro says, for the reasons above, enter an order making sure that this lawyer doesn't delete his evidence and issue an order to show cause, ordering Busby and his firm to show why the complaint should not strike Mr. Carter from it, signed by Alex Spiro. All right, so very aggressive. Now, the judge did not like that at all. And the judge came out and responded. Judges, Annalisa Torres, district judge, coming out of the Southern District of New York. We spent a lot of time there. Here is what the judge wrote. All right, guess what? Plaintiff Jane Doe filed this lawsuit October 20th, 2024, saying there was a violation of New York law. And the court on November 6th granted Jane Doe's motion to proceed anonymously, explaining that Diddy and Jay-Z and others hadn't appeared in this matter and said that anonymity was important for now. So then on December 8th, she amended her complaint. Didn't originally have Jay-Z, but now it does. Plaintiff again sought leave to proceed anonymously, but this time Carter's counsel appeared and moved to dismiss the complaint. Carter also moved for an expedited hearing. Then they filed another declaration saying that an associate with his law firm had a phone conversation with an unnamed woman who claimed that Jane Doe's lawyer encouraged her to lie. Carter's lawyers asked the court to consider this information, saying don't allow this woman to be anonymous. Now, Jane Doe's lawyers denied Carter's allegation and said none of that's true. So then on December 13th, just a few weeks ago, Carter's attorney filed an additional letter to the court. In the interview, the plaintiff, who was speaking anonymously with NBC News, explained her allegations against Jay-Z and explained why she's coming forward right now. Carter's lawyer, Jay-Z's lawyer, points to the interview, saying this is totally inconsistent with her actual civil complaint. He also says that her counsel violated a bunch of rules by failing to investigate the complaint. They requested a bunch of briefing and orders to show cause and more. Then they submitted another filing, a motion for an emergency order striking the amended complaint and ordering the preservation of evidence. So the judge laid out the background and tells us this is where we're at. First, whether this person can proceed anonymously. The court is now going to balance the interest in anonymity versus the interest in public disclosure. And they give us these various factors, right? These are things that we'll put on a scale, we'll weigh them against each other and decide. For example, does this litigation involve matters that are highly sensitive and of a personal nature? Yeah, I'd say so. If you're being AR'd as a 13-year-old, yeah, it's probably not a good thing. So from her perspective, yeah. And that carries a stigma in society, right? So we got to protect the victim. Okay. Whether identification poses a risk of retaliatory physical or mental harm to the parties who want to proceed anonymously. Looking at it from the victim's perspective, in a light most favorable to the party asking for anonymity, Diddy's like a gangster, isn't he? Wasn't that his whole public persona? He's like, a G or something, whatever. So maybe he'll take him out. I don't know. Whether identification presents other harms and the likely severity of those harms. So they go through the factors, the judge is laying them out for us. She says, here, when I analyze everything, the weight of the factors tips in favor of allowing anonymity, at least for now. In her amended complaint, she says that she was drugged and AR'd. She was only 13. Obviously, that's pretty big for her. Courts in this district have recognized those are highly sensitive cases. She's also particularly vulnerable to damages if this information is released. PTSD, depression, seizure disorders, and plaintiff's counsel also asserts that many of people who've also filed lawsuits against Mr. Combs are being threatened for their decision to speak out. And finally, even though she sat for an interview, she did so anonymously. And so it's true, she says, there are several factors that weigh against allowing her to proceed anonymously. Here, she's challenging the actions of private parties, not the government. And given the media attention surrounding all of this, the public does have a substantial interest in learning more about this. Now, alternative mechanisms, though, may exist. We could just redact her name, seal documents and stuff, but the anonymity may prejudice the defendants. And so we don't take that lightly. But nevertheless, we're still early in this case. And so we are going to have anonymity. Jay-Z loses, anonymity is granted. But it could change. The court intends to revisit this decision at a future date. So now we turn to Jay-Z's lawyers. And here's where the judge gets irritated. Now, since Jay-Z's attorneys first appeared in this case 17 days ago, he submitted a litany of letters and motions attempting to impugn the character of the plaintiff's lawyer, many of them expounding on the so-called urgency, quote, of this case, saying that their lawyer is self-promoting and accusing him of extortion and giving us examples of all of that. And then the judge says, Jay-Z's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his clients. So Jay-Z is taking a look at this, like the lawyer just got called out. Judges don't like to call out the lawyer in front of their clients, generally, because it undermines that attorney-client relationship. But the judge just said to Jay-Z, essentially, that your lawyer is making it worse for you, buddy. Judges don't generally cross that line because now Jay-Z is going to go, what? You are not going to help? This court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the lawyer demands it. And moreover, although Carter's attorney, Jay-Z's attorney, assails Busby as having chronic inability to follow the rules, guess what, Jay-Z lawyer? Your lawyer has failed to abide by this court's clear rules. Under the court's individual practices in civil cases, this is why you just don't like, judge, they're not following the rules. The judge is like, oh, you want to talk about rules, huh? Under the court's individual practices in civil cases, and with limited exceptions, a pre-motion letter is required prior to filing any motion. Now, although Carter's attorney, Jay-Z's attorney, stated that he intended to file immediately a motion to strike the first amended complaint, he did not give Jane Doe the required 5 business days to respond, did not wait for the court to set a motion schedule, did not state whether any exception to the rules applies. And this is unacceptable. Says on the merits, Carter's motion to strike is denied. Motions to strike are generally disfavored, will only be granted if there's strong reason to do so. Carter's motion, which summarily asserts that their claims are baseless and salacious, does not clear that high bar. Can't just throw those words around without backing them up. Counsel is hereby advised, Jay-Z, that any further motions filed in violation of the court's practices may be denied on that ground alone. Lastly, although Carter's attorney is entitled to file a Rule 11 motion without first seeking leave, the court discourages encourages this. If he still intends to serve them with a motion for sanctions, the court denies his request to shorten the safe harbor provision to 1 day. Not happening. And so, Carter's motion to strike the amended complaint is denied. By January 10th, Jane Doe shall file her response to Carter's motion for an order directing the preservation of evidence, and then Jay-Z shall reply. Otherwise, the clerk of the court is respectfully directed to terminate the motions so ordered in New York the day after Christmas by Annalisa Torres, United States District Judge. So, interesting filing there. She's not happy about it. And I know sometimes we'll say like the judge blasted somebody. This is a blast from a judge. It may not read like it, but it is. You're not benefiting your client. Put it in writing. Stop doing what you're doing because you're making Jay-Z's case go bad. And we're not going to be following your demands. But here is how CBS News was reporting this.
Jay-Z sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl back in 2000. The lawsuit was originally filed against Sean Diddy Combs back in October, then refiled on Sunday to add Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party. The artists have denied those accusations. Now, in a statement through his company, Rock Nation, Jay-Z responded to the lawsuit and the lawyer representing the plaintiff, saying, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud that you are," his words, in a very public fashion. "So no, I will not give you one red penny," end quote. Now, the lawyer, Busby, did not immediately respond for comment on this, but has refuted Carter's accusations of blackmail on social media. Meanwhile, Sean P. Diddy Combs is still in custody in New York, awaiting his trial on federal sex trafficking charges. He tried to secure bail, but was denied
Multiple times.
CBS News legal contributor.
Look at that. Mayor Adams gave him the key to the city.
Levinson joins us now to go over this lawsuit. Welcome.
Oh, that's great. So you can see Southern District of New York is going to be very busy for the foreseeable future. Here's a little bit more.
The woman alleging she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men raped her at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name, but the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
All right, so we read through it. We'll keep our eye on this one and the Diddy case. Who knows where this one is going to go? It's a civil lawsuit, and there's about, I think, 100 or so of them flying around. And we'll see who was enabling this type of, well, these allegations to be thrown about. Still much more to cover and more to be revealed on this case and more. We'll be here. Thanks for joining, my friends. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you back here on the next one.
Concrete piece out there, I'll get it. Hang on. Yeah.
Today, I'm going to Dragon Con, and you're coming with me. It's Thursday, I'm all packed, and I'm gonna get my big hat into an Uber and make my way to the Atlanta Marriott Marquis. I'm assuming that if you watch this channel, you've probably been to an anime convention, but Dragon Con is very different. First of all, it isn't held in like a convention center with a hotel. Dragon Con takes up 5 hotels in the downtown Atlanta area, plus 2 multi-story exhibit hall buildings. And the Peachtree Center, which is where the food is. Basically, that's almost all of downtown Atlanta. So there's a lot of walking and a lot of walking outside on city streets. Anyway, I arrived with my giant hat, to which a stranger took a picture of me checking in.
Well, I'm already a little overwhelmed. That's the thing about Dragon Con. It's kind of overwhelming. But I did get the room, and I did go get my badge. I ran down to the Sheraton because I thought the line was going to be as bad as it normally is. Last year, it was like all the way around the building. But I went in there, and it was...
Look at that beautiful, short red line. I've never seen anything as beautiful in my life.
That's good, but now I'm sweaty.
So here's the room. Ronnie's ready for the bunny hutch.
I didn't actually book this room. My friend Abby, when she was booking her room, her and her friend were both trying at the same time, and they both successfully got rooms, which means they needed to offload one, which I got a Marriott room without even trying. But we have a pretty nice view. Wow. But in the room, it's just going to be me and my boyfriend. He actually had to work tomorrow, so he's not coming tonight. But I'm going to eat some snacks, and I'm going to drink some water, and then I'm going to paint myself blue. I'm going to paint myself blue. So I already took off all my makeup, which included my eyebrows, which if you didn't know, I am a natural redhead, which means my eyebrows do not exist. And I only have one contact in. I have a regular contact in this eye just so I can see what I'm doing. But the reason is, the last time I wore one, I did not do the smart thing and take my other contact out before I went like down. But I forgot to take it out, and by the end of the day, when I went to take off my eye thing, the contact was gone, so that was a whole thing. I'll show you how I do the eye, by the way. It's a little weird, but I'm going to further get rid of my eyebrows because Ronnie doesn't have eyebrows. Oh wait, I don't need to do that on that eye. I'm so stupid. Okay, here we are. I've got my eyes, like, this palette ain't it. It's patchy as fuck, and it was really hard just to do what I tried to do, which was supposed to be like an extended brow bone, but it just turned into a garage door. But whatever, at least my cracks look good. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what I do for the eye. I'm not actually gonna put it on my eye yet because I need to wait until I'm fully done to do it because it is gonna take away half of my vision. But I am gonna prep the little thing. So I was about to pull out 3M tape and some scrap cotton fabric, but the scrap cotton fabric got left at home.
Is on here.
So I may have...
I don't have any clue
Fucking lean in it.
what the fuck that was.
It'll just demolish that whole shit. Next whole side of the house.
Come see some tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there. Hey, Donald Trump, this is from the Financial Times. Donald Trump's transition team seeks to pull us out of the WHO on day one. So he's answering the question, what inspired all those assassination attempts? I think that's one of the... And by the way, before you get too excited, just remember a lot of presidents promise a lot of great stuff on day one.
Yeah,
A lot.
true.
Donald Trump's transition team is pushing to pull the United... That's such a weird... That's such bad writing. They are pushing to pull the U.S. out. They're pushing to pull... They're pushing and pulling. And it's such horrible writing. Who wrote this? That's a bad editor. Chip? No, that's the guy who took the picture. Oh, it doesn't say.
Financial Times, I'll look up the editor.
Donald Trump's transition team is pushing to pull. God damn it, that's so bad. That's like a joke. That's how if I was writing a joke piece, that's how I would write it.
Rula Khalif is the editor of the Financial Times.
Yeah, okay. I bet he's here on a, is she here on a visa? Donald Trump's transition team is pushing to pull the U.S. out of the World Health Organization on the first day of the new administration, according to experts who warn of the catastrophic... Again, these nebulous experts say it's going to be catastrophic for global health. The experts do? You mean the same experts that said that the vaccine would stop transmission and contraction and get us out of the pandemic? The same experts that said the coronavirus was super deadly and was going to kill millions? The same people who said that lockdowns were good? The same people who said masks was that? The people who said that the virus... it didn't come from a lab, and if you said that, you were a racist. Those same experts, or are these different experts?
Name them so I know. I don't know.
Members of Trump's team told the experts of their intention to announce a withdrawal. They used it twice in a row. Experts. The experts.
Who are these experts?
Why don't you name one?
The
The experts of their intention to announce a withdrawal from the global health body on the president-elect's January 20th inauguration. I can hear all my Hollywood shitlib friends now. Oh, that's just great, Jimmy. So now where's the world supposed to get all of its health from? The departures would move the WHO's biggest source of funds, damaging its... Again, it's hard to get the stats. I've looked into this several times.
Wow,
it's
that's
hard
a
to find the
fucking
stats,
honker, dude.
but I'm pretty sure Bill Gates and his Bill and Melinda Gates and his Gavi Foundation are the biggest contributors to the World Health
Dude, it's
Organization.
like part
It's hard to find.
flatworm.
I looked for
It's
at
like
least 15
flatworm
minutes.
and
That's all I'm going to give it. But they say the United States is the biggest funder of the WHO.
it's spent its whole life
Possible.
under a rock.
Number two has got to be Bill Gates and the Gavi Foundation. So the departure would remove the WHO's biggest source of funds, damaging its ability to respond to public health crises such as the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, how did the WHO do during the coronavirus pandemic? They did fantastic, just fantastic. In fact, Africa, who didn't do anything, had much lower death rate than the rest of the world. Sweden, same thing. You know, has the highest death rate? The United States, or one of the highest, or one of the highest. What's that?
Don't forget, they wanted us to sign over our national sovereignty to them not long ago, and I think it just narrowly didn't pass, or it was still maybe on the table.
America is going to leave a huge vacuum in global health financing and leadership. I see no one that is going to fill the breach, said some asswipe professor at Georgetown, adding that the plan to withdraw on day one would be catastrophic for global health. Wow. And let's get out our deep state Dakota rings and figure out what that statement really means. And it says that it would be catastrophic to the factory farm that we call the health industry and harvest us like GMO corn. That's who it would be catastrophic for. It'd be probably good for the world.
A bunch of baby earthworms.
Hey, Financial Times, stop trying to bone me up with beautiful promises. How about that? The battle over U.S. relations with the WHO comes after Trump nominated several allies, such as vaccine skeptic R.F. Kennedy, who, by the way, was right about everything when it came to coronavirus and the pandemic, for a top health job at the next administration. Also, who's the guy who was on this show? Why can't I think of his name? He's the new head of the NIH.
Oh, Bhattacharya.
Bhattacharya.
He's an Indian guy. He's good.
The guy who helped pen the Barrington Declaration, which turned out to be correct on how to handle the pandemic.
Indian guy fought for your rights.
However, Ghostin said he was not sure that Trump would place as high a priority on an immediate withdrawal as some in his team. Whoops, that's a misprint. They meant to say big pharma skeptic, not vaccine skeptic. How about a big pharma skeptic?
Because there's no such thing as a vaccine skeptic.
No, that's not a thing. Vaccine skeptics. That's not the concept of vaccine is sound. Mandatory untested gene therapy, not so sound. Not so sound. The United States is the WHO's largest single donor. Again, it's very hard to say who it is. I'm going to say Bill Gates is number one or number two, providing about 16% of its funding in 2022 to 2023. In 2020, Trump initiated the process to leave the WHO as COVID-19 spread, accusing the agency of being under China's control. But the process was never finished, and his successor, Joe Biden, restarted relations with the agency on his first day in office of 2021. Because Joe Biden is completely owned by Big Pharma and the deep state, which is also in bed with the WHO. Just in case you didn't know. I don't know, maybe you didn't know this. So they say he accused the agency of being under the control of China. You're telling me Bill Gates is Chinese? Come on. Come on, huh?
You never know, you know?
Experts have been told that some in Trump's team want to move much faster this time around after initiating the process immediately.
Good.
Good. That's what I say. I'm all for it. Ashish Jha, Biden's former White House COVID response coordinator, who did a great job.
While tripping on acid.
Let's put our numbers up against Africa's. Hey, let's put our numbers up against Sweden. Said the transition, but who didn't do anything.
They got to download.
Said the transition team wanted Trump. They didn't shut down their schools. I'll tell you that. Sweden didn't shut down their schools. said the transition team wanted Trump to withdraw on the first day because of the symbolism of reversing Biden's own Inauguration Day move. Okay.
Look at all the wormies!
Hey, if Donald Trump wants to be serious,
Hello, little wormies!
let's move on.
Excuse me, pardon me.
There are lots of people who are going to be part of the inner circle of the administration who do not trust the WHO and want to symbolically show on day one that they are out. He added that some in his team wanted to stay in the organization and push to reform it. But another, really?
Look at the mouse.
Really?
Deport them.
Yeah, actually, I think those are full.
That's such a democratic thing to the optimism to think we can change a multi-billion-dollar racket from the inside.
Yeah, we don't have to blow up the Death Star, Jimmy. We could use the Death Star for good.
More of a ball.
He added that some of the, but another group who believed in cutting ties was winning the argument. I think that's good. I say that's good. If Trump is really against
I'm too much of a stick in the mud. I don't do things like that.
the WHO, I think he should also make the band, the WHO disband, because they're all deaf now anyway, and they should be called the Hum. Anyway, these are jokes, folks. Bodies such as the WHO are key to global cooperation on vaccine development and distribution. Oh, really? As well as other treatments during health emergencies, said Ja. If you're not engaged in these institutions, you're not going to have ears to the ground when the next outbreak happens. What? We don't have ears to the ground in DARPA-sponsored labs where they purposely make these viruses?
Why are you throwing the rocks
Well,
away?
it's good that we don't have ears to the ground there because it's probably not sanitary.
Yeah, probably how COVID got out of the lab. Somebody put their ear to the ground.
So here's what we see what the actual catastrophe would be, Kurt. The catastrophe would be not for the world, but just for those who want to control it through chemical manipulation.
You know where the lake is?
What do you mean we don't have ears to the ground? You people have installed the most advanced surveillance system in the history of the world, and all it does is look for when we simultaneously wake up to you and what you're doing to us. Tell me you don't.
I mean, they could end human trafficking tomorrow, couldn't they? With the massive spying and also AI.
Right? Gostin said there would be very lean years for the WHO, where it will struggle to respond to health emergencies and will have to reduce its scientific staff considerably. You mean the morons who've gotten everything wrong and they're run by a frickin' guy in bed with terrorists? Not even a doctor, the guy who runs the WHO.
He's not even a doctor of terror?
No, he's probably a doctor of terror. He warned that if the U.S. left the WHO, European countries were unlikely to step up, and funding in China might try to wield more influence. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Every country
the rest of the world that's not us.
Yeah, every country has their own doctors and their own health organizations. This WHO thing is bullshit.
Oh, well, you know, it's an intelligence thing, and this is what's called soft power, and that's what they're really talking about.
That's right.
We're going to lose our soft power.
I might be able to use this one.
China might try to wield more influence. Oh no, they make all our phones and TikToks and sneakers already.
Are they going to Belt and Road Initiative health and not charge people for it? What are they going to do?
Just let me, whatever the question is, these people are not the answer. The people who want, they're not the answer. They're like a drunk at a party trying to take other drunks' keys out of their hands.
The goal now is to start moving gravel over
so
here?
they could drive them home. That's what the WHO is.
Put gravel here?
It would not be a smart move, as withdrawal would cede leadership to China.
Of what?
I don't.
Again, we're
Of what?
They're not going to be leading us because we're not in the WHO. So who is it they're leading?
Right.
Africa likes them better, by the way. Are you worried about Africa? They like China way better than Bill Gates because the Belt and Road Initiative, and they trust China more. Whether China's good or not.
And so they're going to cede leadership to China. I mean, what's the matter with China? You guys use them to make all of our viruses already, right?
Yeah, they do good work.
The Trump transition team did not comment directly. One person familiar with the plans told the Financial Times, the same WHO that we left in the first administration, it seems like we wouldn't much care what they have to say. He went on to say, influence D's. And the reporter said, influence what? And he said, D's nuts. The WHO did not comment. Tedros, that's the guy who runs it, the body's director general, not a doctor, but he is a corrupt in bed with terrorists, said this month that it was a unique organization that hoped to partner with the U.S. No kidding. It's a unique organization.
There's them in Syria now.
From our side, we're ready to work together, he said. I believe U.S. leaders understand that the U.S. cannot be safe unless the rest of the world is safe.
That threat, Tedros?
Boy, he sounds upset. He should maybe give a Tedros talk about it. Am I right? Come on.
It's hard to get tickets to those.
There's something creepy and pedo about that statement. The U.S. cannot be safe unless the rest... That's like when they said, nobody is safe unless everybody's vaccinated. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Nobody's safe unless everybody's safe. Remember that bullshit thing they were saying?
Well, that's how you know this is really about Intel and the State Department and some NATO bullshit, because making the world safe for democracy was their whole raison d'etre, whatever. And so he's actually kind of alluding to, don't forget your Intel interests in this.
Right. You're right. And so here's the top 20 contributors in 2018 to the WHO. The United States of America, right number 2 is Bill and Melinda Gates. And here's Gavi. That's another thing controlled by Bill and Bill Gates.
Maybe Gavi will take over.
So if you put Gavi and Bill Gates together, I bet they were worth more money than the U.S.
Of course they are. Now, is Gavi an Indian guy? I'm not sure.
And here's 20 to 2023. United States, Bill and Melinda Gates, right nipping at their tail.
Where's Gavi?
Look at that. Gavi's not on here.
Oh,
so again, that's why I'm saying it's hard to find out who really funds the WHO. But we know Bill and Melinda Gates has got a stranglehold on the WHO. And if you know anything about Bill and Melinda Gates, when the devil comes, he's not going to be wearing horns and holding a pitchfork. He's going to be wearing a crew neck sweater and glasses and buying carbon offsets so he could fly around the world in a private jet.
Wait, Jimmy. Look at the bottom. Is China at like third from the bottom?
China's like third from the bottom.
How will they be the leaders of God?
You tell me.
Who?
So that's just
them. Go to Germany, wouldn't it?
That's right. So United Kingdom, Germany, the European Commission, Norway, France, India, Sweden, Korea, Japan, Australia. They're all ahead of China.
China's going to be the leader of that somehow.
Yeah, somehow China's not going to be the leader.
What in the hell? Oh, China's about to take over. You look at those numbers.
I mean, calling the WHO the World Health Organization is like calling the food court at the shopping mall the World Health Organization. That's all I'm saying. Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Michael Malice, has there ever been a person in history that has more support than this fellow Brandon?
Let's go, Brandon!
It seems like that is the most popular person I've ever come across. Everyone is in support of this Brandon fellow.
There's this internet meme about, I think his name is Kyle, who drinks Monster Red Bull and puts his fist through drywall. Is that Kyle? Is that name Kyle? But Brandon,
I don't know about Kyle.
Kyle is a white kid who drinks a lot of Monster and puts his fist through drywall. Brandon is everywhere.
Well, I don't know this Kyle fellow though. Is this a popular meme? Here it is.
Yeah, there it is. Kyle, I was right.
Okay, so Kyle just punches shit?
When he drinks a lot of Monster.
It's so crazy how like something will become popular. You know, like that one guy, the large fella that's sitting on the edge of the bed with his giant cock hanging over the bed.
Yes.
That one picture of this fella and his big dick.
This is the most boomer conversation. You know how on the internet, Jamie, these pictures get names and the kids share them. And how do these pictures come from?
Where do they come from? How do these kids...
And why is it Tom Cruise laughing? I don't understand.
Is this coordinated?
It's a conspiracy.
Why do they keep showing Michael Jordan crying?
Or Michael Jackson eating popcorn? Why is it Michael Jackson?
It is amazing, like, what memes get used and what don't get used. Like, that one will just catch fire and just spread through the lines.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite meme is. And there's one that's not a meme, it's just a funny picture, but what do I use all the time? Like, the one I use is, it's not a meme, it's a GIF. When, like, people on Twitter ask me, like, a bunch of questions in a row in, like, one tweet, I just reply with the Riddler because it's all these question marks, but that's not that clever, particularly. What is the best meme? I'm blanking. I can't think.
There's a lot of good ones. There's so many good ones. I mean, it's just, the beauty of it is it's really a new form of comedy. You know, like, internet meme comedy is a new form of comedy, and it's a brilliant form of comedy that some people are masters at. Really, like a Dave Chappelle, they're masters like a comic is a master. They're masters at this weird new form that's only existed for like 15 years or so.
And the greatest thing is that establishment figures don't know what to do with this.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. I'm going to show you this new one. Hold on, Jamie, I'm going to send this to you. This is one of my new favorite memes because there's so many of them, but this one is like, this is my favorite of the time. Hold on. All right, send it to you, Jamie.
Let's see this.
This is my favorite of today. Of this.
Oh, it's the one with the drinking water, the engine coolant? Was that the one?
No, that's a good one too. But that, I actually know the guy.
Oh, yeah,
this is my favorite.
This has been around for a while.
Comfort me harder, daddy.
Yeah. But that's the NPC meme, which I explained on this show a few times ago when I was on.
This is an NPC as well?
Yeah, they're gray and they have that.
Oh, that's what those things are. Okay,
yeah.
That's right. You did explain that. NPCs, yeah.
Yeah.
Non-player character for the other boomers.
Yeah, for all the boomers who listen
I like
to the
how
show.
it's double masked too. Look at that. I saw someone today on Twitter that was ranting in this like vitriolic, just nasty rant about unvaccinated people causing the death of Colin Powell.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, here's the deal. The guy had blood cancer.
Oh shit! I didn't know. Leukemia?
No, it's a different kind. And what is it called? Yeah, it's this very severe form of blood cancer that severely impacts the immune system, apparently, and might have even rendered his vaccination ineffective because he was vaccinated.
So he was double vaccinated, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever that means, fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's not even fully anymore. Do you know that 6 months after the vaccine, some hospitals are not counting you as vaccinated 6 months after fully vaccinated? This comes from some woman that was working at a hospital that was talking about cases of vaccinated versus unvaccinated people that were admitted to the ICU. And she was saying the people that are in the hospital, they're in her particular hospital, she was saying when someone's been vaccinated 6 months ago, they list them as unvaccinated.
But that's why they need those boosters in perpetuity, right?
But this is crazy. Like, they are fucking vaccinated, and they're listing them in the hospital as unvaccinated and jacking up the unvaccinated numbers.
But I think it goes the other way, that if the efficacy is only 6 months, they're jacking up the numbers of people who are vaccinated to try to make it seem like only a time.
today, babies. What is going on? Yeah, it's the tiny dog. So someone is here. There's a guest here, and because the guest's dog is inside, the little dogs are just losing their collective about it. They jealous. I can't let you out. There's still meat in the deep freeze, yeah.
Well,
You want to take your chance with it?
I mean, I'll know real quick, dude. If it's not okay, it's gonna take me a moment to figure it out.
Yeah, and it was really nice colored, the meat, so if it
It's
colored at all, it's definitely had exposure to temperature. I don't know, I think I'm just gonna go get a fucking chicken on a stick. I don't know if they'll even have any. If I get a chicken on a stick, I'm gonna make myself a Caesar salad or something like that. I got salad fixins. I just don't have any dressing. The dressing went away. It just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it.
The dressings that are in my fridge are really old.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna grab a new one. Just like a Caesar, maybe. Whew. She worked hard for the money. So hard for it, honey. She worked hard for the money, and you better treat her right. Oh, thanks, Melissa. It's for the tiny dogs and Orly. It's to alleviate some of the stress. You know, the big stress for him is that he's got nowhere for the dogs to go. And so, like, they're peeing and pooping in his house, and it's just a big chaos situation. And so I tried to help him out by bringing them in here, but then they just, like, peed and pooped all outside of the kennel in here. And so now the floor is just getting yucky in here, and neither of us want that to happen. So he just surprised me, like, the day before yesterday, and was like, hey, I'm going to build a thing outside the thing for the dogs. And now he wants to do that anyway. And he initially wants to turn, or at the end of the day, this bottom half of the shed will be the place where the washer and dryer goes. There'll be a segmented area. And then the rest of it will be finished, and that's made safe for the tiny dogs to have access to it, with like little places for them to hang out and entertaining things, toys, all kinds of stuff, and then access to the outside where they can go into a fenced in area and still be safe. But for now, while I'm in the shed, we're just gonna fix the kennel part up so that the dogs can go in the kennel during the day and not freeze or be at risk of getting hurt. I'm tired. I'm gonna run to town. I'm gonna go get myself some food. I need food bad. I'm getting sick to my stomach, so I'm hoping to God that there's still like something to make. I'm gonna go find some chicken of some kind, and then I'm gonna make myself a salad. Give myself some greens. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I guess I'm gonna go so that I can go do this thing. I love you dearly, all of you, even the haters. I love you all, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you soon. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh man, I knew it. Fuck. I knew it. 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 Oh my God. Wow, you guys are mad, huh? God damn it, dude. I knew that was gonna happen. The chicken food swole up, expanded, and like knocked everything down. Here's some food. God, this is nasty. Oh God, oh fucking God, oh my God, oh my God. This is bad. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. All my chicken food is fucking ruined. Fuck, dude, that was $55, man. Plus tax or whatever, $60. I just fucking bought it. It's brand new. All that chicken feed is fucking crap. I need another 5-gallon bucket, apparently. It's like fermented or like hydrated chicken food now. And it swole up so much that it knocked the fucking 5-bucket thingy lid off. Whew. Anyway, so like the chicken food is wet and it's busted the lid off. So there's just no way to keep it covered. So it just keeps raining into the food. It's just exposed to the fucking elements. It's going bad. It's just gonna start rotting. My chickens cannot eat rotten feed. It's literally 10 fucking gallons of rotten feed. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? All right, guys, I love you. I'll talk to you later.